Hello there, you're welcome to the next segment of this training. This is Apostle Robert Ntefon. I want to share this particular topic is on the commonest problems or the problem areas. People who are intending to get into lasting relationships, precisely marriage. When they miss these, things begin to get complicated unnecessarily. I want to start with the lack of awareness of yourself. Thus, you need to be aware of yourself, know your personality, know your temperament, and your basic nature. When you don't know that, you are just more, you're as good as an accident going somewhere to happen. It is so important that you know yourself. What's your temperament? What's your temperament? The things that you are naturally going to do. Are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert? Are you a very lively person? Are you a calm, calculated person? You know, sometimes people get into problems as per they were born into the midst of the. Let me not use it, but let me say like so that he conveys the meaning. They are born into the group of people who don't know how to handle them, and so they were born into the midst of, say, cynics, born into the midst of people who are very how do I call it now? They are very troublesome, or they are so very poor in their human relations, and because of where they were born into, they continue with that and may think this is who I am. We have found that to be not true. That by the time these people have the right kind of environment that is giving them room to be themselves, to adjust, get healed from whatever happened in the past, that they now discover who they truly are. People who were thought to be very quiet turn out to be very outgoing, very outspoken, creative. You know, you need to know that. So there are people who need time to observe and understand who they are. But because so many want to just rush out, get married, why? Because the reason might just be, I want somebody in my life. Or this will be a good way to escape from where I have grown up from. So that leads us to the next subject regarding marriage as an escape route or route from whatever you never liked. You don't like loneliness, so you think that marriage will solve the problem of loneliness. I disagree. Loneliness can be solved by having genuine people, genuine friends in your life. Now, don't try to sexualize what I'm saying. Having genuine friends who are interested in your progress, who will help you to actually grow and be who you are supposed to be. That is enough to take away loneliness. Feeling that marriage has the power in itself to make one happy. Marriage doesn't make anybody happy, but if you know how to leverage marriage, you can live a happier life than living alone. All right? But the other thing has to be noted. If you do not know how to generate happiness as a single person, if you don't know how to do it, you are likely going to be in a very bad place. And what does that mean? Being in a bad place as in you being lonely as a married person is worse than being alone and lonely. you can't compare it. All right? You can't compare the two. And number 3 thing here, common problem area that singles face in relationship is struggling with traditions, toxic traditions. I mean, when I say toxic, they are toxic to marriage. And then they carry those traditions and get into marriage. And they actually are Bible reading people who believe, so they expect to have a godly marriage. If you mix it up with your cultural, but there are many things that are cultures, the way we were brought up, where we grew up, they are good things. But there are many that are not favorable for marriage. You need to know the difference. Now, you also may run into a lot of problems if you are going to get committed to your marriage or your relationship that ends up in marriage if you do not have healthy human relations skills. If you are the kind of person that lives as a recluse, yes, you are comfortable with your phone. Before now we used to say book, comfortable with your phone, you fiddle with it every time, but you cannot relate with people. You don't know how to initiate good conversation or be interacting with others. You need to learn that so that you can be fun to be with. Some people don't know how to enjoy simple jokes or to crack one. They don't. They expect, they are like a man who sits down and watches the stove or watches the kettle on the stove, has not set fire on it, but expects it to begin to boil. No, that doesn't happen. You need to cause it to happen, okay? And then the other point is unwillingness to open up for honest closeness with your partner or your friend. You can't do it when you are not married. Don't expect it to happen on its own after you are married. If you don't know how to do it, you're already in marriage, you need to open up and learn. It's an art, you can learn it. All right? Ignorance of the intended spouse's core values and beliefs. You believe in the Bible, and the person you want to get married to has no regard for the Bible. Believes in something else completely and does not even want to consider what your values are as important. You need to be very cautious. You need to be very cautious. And of course, if you are so entangled emotionally with an ungodly person, that is one of the reasons God told the Israelites, don't get married to the ungodly people or the non-believers. Reason? They will end up taking your heart away from God to worship some strange gods that are not gods. To become an idol worshiper. This is one reason why Solomon, the wisest man on earth, ended up dying like a fool. He married so many wives from the lands where God had warned them shouldn't marry them because they will steal your heart away from God. This is very important. So you need to know that. And then lack of the knowledge of the basic nature of the opposite sex. Yeah, there are people who say it's okay to get married to same sex. I don't believe in that. It's not scriptural. It's not scriptural. So we're talking about a man being married to a woman. That can be a very wonderful experience. But you need to don't try to make the person you want to marry, if he's a man, you want to try to make him to live like you as a woman. You try to turn the man into a woman. Or a woman is trying to be turned into a man by the man. No. You need to acknowledge the fact that they are different. The opposite sex is different from you. Confusion in the couple's individual meaning of love. Some people have concluded that real love has to be based on how they want love to be expressed to them. I believe that, yes, I believe that those things are just ways you want to experience love, ways you want love to be shown to you. But if you are talking about the true qualities and the characteristics of love, then it's time to go to the Bible. But on a very general note, God Himself, the Creator God, is love. The Creator God is love. Okay, now. Another point, so we've mentioned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Point number 10 now. Inability to express selfless love. You need to learn that. And the best time to learn it is when you are not yet married. You need to practice it. If you get married or you got married before you realize what I'm saying, then get ready to learn. Because there are so many things you will do for your spouse, not because you enjoy doing them, but because you want him or her to be happy. Marriage is about the sacrifices that we make for those we love. It's not about how much you take from it, it's how much you invest into it. And of course, if you make a good investment, you will have a very good return on your investment. But both of you have to be aware of what you are doing and what is happening to you, where you are, what the requirements are. And point number 11, inability to groom your friendship into a happy marriage. What does that mean? So many people start off as friends. And when they are in the marriage, they become very careless and selfish and begin to do things that is just for themselves. They don't care about the feeling of the other. But friendship before marriage is quite different from friendship in marriage. If you were ever friends before marriage, in marriage, if you know how to cultivate the friendship, you will enjoy it more. Yes, it's an enjoyable experience to make the friendship before marriage. It's wonderful. And of course, I advise, if you are not yet married, if you marry your friend, it's wonderful. You will enjoy it so well. You will just continue with your friendship. But look forward to developing and improving on your friendship in the marriage. This is profitable for those who are looking forward to having lasting love in marriage and those who are already married. Point number 12, lack of the knowledge of original purpose of marriage. Where do we get that from? God is the originator of marriage. God desired that marriage should be enjoyable, not endured. God designed marriage to be for your pleasure and fulfillment. He designed it for the fulfillment of His children. So if you never knew that, you need to become aware. Marriage is not meant for endurance. So even the sacrifices you are making for your spouse, you are doing it because it's a thing of joy. You're not forced to do it. You are doing it because you want to do it. You enjoy doing it. You are doing it for the person you love. All right? So you have to understand what's the purpose of marriage. Otherwise, you begin to abuse it. Or you even yield yourself to be abused. Point number 13. Lack of knowledge of what true marriage is and what it entails. The last point was the purpose of marriage. What's the purpose of marriage? Okay? And the next one here is, that's number 13. Point number 13 is, what does marriage entail? Marriage is you positioning yourself to do the will of God. Marriage is not a place for control. Marriage is a place where you allow yourself to grow up. Marriage is a place where you allow your flesh to die. I believe that's why we go to the altar first. Altar is a place of death. So you have to allow your flesh to be brought to the point where it looks like it's dead. Why? What makes others just go wild and want to kill somebody doesn't move you. Why? You have allowed the Spirit of God to deal with your flesh. You're not just there reacting at everything or to everything. How do you think a dead man would do? Even if you bring the sweetest thing, or what used to tempt a dead man, will he be tempted? No. That's the kind of death we are talking about. It's a place where you allow your flesh, your carnality, your natural human tendencies to be as good as dead. You are not supposed to stab yourself to death, but you submit your soul, your soke, what the Greek calls soke, that's your soulish nature, to become dead. All right. Point number 14, lack of the the appropriate model for effective steps into marriage. This is not common. There are people who say you date. Good. This book is about dating, courtship, engagement, and marriage. There are those who don't recognize courtship. Who don't recognize dating. It's not there. It's not in their culture. They don't acknowledge it. And of course, I agree with them. But where it exists, how should it be done? So the people need this appropriate model for effective steps into marriage. And if you don't have that, then you need to get some coaching, some guidance. Poor or no interpersonal skills. Some people, when they were younger, teenagers, they're looking forward to becoming independent. And now they have become independent. They are coming under pressure to get married, live with another person. How is that ever going to work? If you have no exposure to interpersonal relationship, that's not only supposed to be at the place of work. Should you actually start from home, start at your personal level, the personal life, and so you take it out. But many people are forced into it at the place of work, and they don't see it as something that should be done first and foremost at the personal level. It's Steve Covey that made it popular that it's their private victory that you bring out to the public that should enhance your public victory. And then the wrong mentality about marriage. Wrong mentality, wrong philosophy. You uphold wrong philosophy, it's going to be a problem in your marriage. If you are the kind of person that said, I will always win all, and then whoever is partnering or is marrying me has to always do everything for me, it's not the right mentality. You're having the wrong paradigm if you're talking about marriage. And then the misplacement of sex in relationship. If you misplace it, if it is something you think should qualify whom you are going to get married. In other words, if to get married to the person, you have to sleep with the person first. It's a misplaced priority and may destroy the marriage. Yeah. We all look forward to it. I looked forward to it. But my friend, if you do not allow it to be in its rightful place, it should come when it should come, not at random, not used as a means to qualify the person that you get married to. Many people who do that end up not getting married. Many who get up married don't last. And then to be financially prepared. Where are we now? 14, 15, 16, 17. I hope I'm right. Okay. I think that's the 18 now. Sorry. Have something doing. You don't have to be great to begin, but you begin and then you become great. Be interested in doing something. Don't look forward to who is going to take care of all your problems while you do nothing. That is not marriage. That is not marriage. It should not be supported. Don't think that way. And don't also think of you get married and you have no time for the people around you because you are driven by the excessive desire to be rich. Just walk by faith. Do something. Be somebody that is known to be somebody that you are bringing something to the table. You don't be the one who is going to promote codependent relationship. This one should bring all the things I want. I don't do anything. I don't help at home. I don't bring anything. I have no value. It's unacceptable. If that is not in place, think about it. Think about what can I do so that I will be somebody who makes contribution. And then on my list here, the last and not the least, lack of marriage coaching and mentoring. Now, if you don't know any of all the things that you're supposed to know, a good coach can help you. Now, if you are going through this program and you don't know what to do, where to go, how to, your whereabouts, how to navigate from your independent life into an interdependent life in marriage. Marriage is about two mature people who can live on their own independently, but they have decided to come together, mix their lives, and produce what is better than any one of them. Then you may need a coach or a mentor or both in one. That's one of the things that I am here to do for you. If after you go through this program you still feel inadequate, you still feel I don't know enough to get into a marriage relationship, then you may need to find the email address within this program for support, and let us know if you want the one-on-one coaching and mentoring program. We like to combine the two because there are some things that you need to be taught, shown, and there are some things you need coaching. When we see that you have the potential to succeed, but ignorance has become a major problem, or your childhood upbringing is becoming one of the hindrances that is going to prevent you from enjoying your marriage, we will do our best to help you. When I say we, I mean I and my team. But I want to say it's a delight, it's a privilege to be able to deliver this teaching and presentation to you. And like I said, if you need more of a one-on-one, you want to be in the speed lane and land safely, it's my pleasure to be able to help you. And I look forward to seeing you if you are one of those. God bless you, and I talk to you in the next lesson. Bye for now.